you satisfy my curiosity?
Oh, I've heard talk.
Ah, vale, por fin. La cicatriz del rostro de la chica parece ser de la etnia Ewe. El único lugar de Cordona donde puede encontrarse gente del pueblo Ewe es en el campamento de refugiados bajo el Victoria Bridge entre Escaladio y Silverstone. Vale. Hay un problema. Vale. Tiene que ser este puente. Bueno, voy a hacer el viaje rápido. Vamos a ver.
Beasts!
Animales. Vale. Es por aquí. ¿Por qué tanto escándalo ahí que hay? Y está la policía.
Murderers!
They're completely livid.
First they come to our land, then they murder.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I uphold the law, so I'm not answering your questions.
Murder! Beasts!
Sir, this place is off limits to the public. Please state your business or leave, or I shall request that the police escort you out.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I'm from City Hall. They sent me to oversee the situation.
No, you're not. I'm the supervisor of the camp, and I'm the one who's handling the current situation on behalf of City Hall. Ronald Harlow at your service. Now, sir, tell me who you really are, or you'll have to explain yourself to the police. I have full authority to request they detain you.
Very well, Mr. Harlow. I am a private investigator. I'm looking for a witness on my case. Sherlock Holmes is my real name.
A private investigator? Really? Even so, you're not authorized. I can't let you in, so please, step back.
¿Será posible? Ligero bigote, intenta parecer mayor. Pálidas bolsas bajo los ojos, trabaja en interiores, no le dan la luz. Demasiado arreglado, quiere dar una impresión de autoridad. Palmas húmedas, suda, está nervioso. Zapatos limpios, es sedentario. Es un chupatinta. Ronald Harlow es un joven oficinista cansado de tu trabajo diario. El ayuntamiento le ha asignado la supervisión del campamento de refugiados, pero está demasiado cansado y es demasiado indiferente como para resolver los problemas que surjan. Tiene un bigote raro que cree que le hace parecer más mayor. Su palidez y las bolsas bajo los ojos sugieren que está cansado de su despacho atestado y oscuro del que rara vez sale, aunque al jugar por sus zapatos limpios y poco casual no es que salga mucho en cualquier caso. Sus palmas sudorosas indican que Ronald está estresado, teniendo en cuenta el tiempo que hace hoy. Podría no llevar tanta ropa.
The people in the crowd are shouting about a murder in the camp. Are you trying to hide it?
It's mere assumption. I assure you that the situation is under the police's control.
If it was under control, if there was no dead body, you wouldn't be as nervous as you are. You would be sitting in your cozy dark corner of a city hall room doing nothing as usual. Yet, you're here, trying to deal with a series of problems you never asked for.
These insults are inappropriate. You don't know what I'm doing for this camp. Even though the rest of City Hall doesn't give a bloody squat about the refugees, maybe I didn't want to be assigned to this camp. But I'm trying to do my best for these people. If not for my work, they might not have any shelter or food even.
I apologize, Mr. Harlow. Perhaps I was prejudiced towards you, but in any case, I'm sure that you would still want this to be over as quickly as possible. The current reality is that neither you nor the police are managing things well here. You are unable to calm the crowd. You have simply never handled a situation like this before.
What are you driving at, Mr. Holmes?
I can help you to handle the situation if you're truly interested in solving things quickly and quietly.
And how exactly would you manage that?
Simply tell the police that I'm with City Hall and I'm permitted to investigate the scene. I'll work out the rest, but in return, I need your help finding my witness. She's a young refugee. She's with child or was with child recently.
Look, there is indeed a dead body inside the camp. So even if the girl you are looking for is there, all the refugees are now being detained and interrogated by the police. They won't allow you to speak with her, and I can't do anything about that until the situation settles down.
So it's in our mutual interest to settle it.
Oh. I suppose that things are bad enough that I ought not shy away from help. All right, Mr. Holmes. I'll tell the police to allow you to come inside. Just tell me when you're ready.
Mr. Harlow, how did the refugees end up here exactly?
Oh, so you're not from around here yourself?
I've been away for some time, but I read the papers.
Yes, this whole story has been in the papers for almost a year now. They were smuggled to Cordona on a ship from Africa.
Smuggled? Then why didn't you deport them?
The smugglers managed to sneak them to shore and hide them inside an abandoned warehouse. When the police raided the warehouse and found the refugees there, the ship was already gone. We aren't even certain as to which ship it was. We have busy shipping routes with other colonies these days, you see.
So you decided to lock them up under a bridge?
There was no other option. We're still trying to work out what to do with them. I only hope we'll find a humane solution and not put them on a raft and float them out to sea.
Mr. Harlow, what exactly do you do here? What are your responsibilities?
What I do and what I am responsible for are two different realities, Mr. Holmes. On paper, I am in charge of the camp territory, security, provision, and the refugees in general. What I actually do most of the time is knock on every City Hall door trying to obtain some funding, or at least rations for the camp.
The police here on City Hall's behalf too?
They are, minus those who came here after the body was found. The governor won't let the refugees disperse into the islands, so there's a significant police presence guarding the camp. Naturally, they answer directly to the police. I have some influence here, but I'm not their direct authority.
I'm ready to take a look at the scene.
All right. Go inside the camp and find Inspector Tewkesbury. He's the officer investigating the scene. Tell him I sent you. Say you're an independent expert from City Hall. He'll fill in the details for you.
I'll find my way with words. Thank you, Mr. Harlow.
So they keep these refugees under a bridge like proverbial trolls. No wonder the people outside.
Who the hell are you? How did you get in here?
Mr. Ronald Harlow let me in, sir. I'm Sherlock Holmes, a surveyor of refugee affairs with City Hall. You're Inspector Tewkesbury, I presume?
A surveyor? What does that even mean?
In short, I've been sent to conduct an extensive report on the incident for the Colonial Office and to assess all the damage inflicted on state property.
Got it. Another paperworm sent to count money and get food for archive mold. Go on, look around, but don't make yourself too at home. As if I didn't have enough problems before you appeared.
Could you first tell me what happened here?
What happened? People from the bridge above the camp heard a woman screaming and saw a mass of refugees attacking a man. Clearly not a refugee. When the camp guards came by, the man was floating in the sewage canal with a knife in his chest. Bam. A murder. Big news for Cordona.
I'm sure. Thank you, Inspector. Did you learn anything about the dead man?
The fellow looks like a thug. I've had dozens like him fished out of the sea over the past 20 years. Ever since these refugees arrived, there have been people on Cordona with bad blood in them. My best bet is that this thug had something against them too.
And no clue as to his identity.
He had some items on his body, but nothing to indicate who he was or where he was from.
I think I should catalogue his possessions in my records.
Go on. They're on the table near the body.
And none of the refugees were harmed?
One fellow was cut. He's lying over there near their kitchen. He's in a bad way.
You mentioned a woman screaming who attracted the bypassers on the bridge. Was she harmed?
No, she's all right, but perhaps the whole debacle started because of her. She started wailing and the refugees stood up for the girl.
And where is this young woman now?
Back there in the shacks, same as the rest of the refugees. She's being questioned by my men, but she's just some refugee girl. Can't understand much English.
Do you have any suspects yet?
You're joking, right? I've got a whole camp full of suspects. And if you ask me, this bloke had it coming. Better bury him and forget about the whole thing. And now there's a crowd gathered at the camp.
Tiene mucho
and my
prejuicio,
superiors say we must thoroughly interrogate the refugees. At least those who can understand any English.
Do you believe that your superiors wish to get rid of the refugees?
I think that both our superiors would rather keep the story quiet. Since that's an unaffordable luxury now, they're looking how to protect their public image. That's why I have to waste my time waiting for my people to turn every stone and befriend every refugee.
Se ha hallado el cadáver de un hombre en el campamento. Según la versión del inspector Tesbury, basada en lo que los testigos vieron desde un puente, lo mató un grupo de refugiados y luego lo tiró al canal de alcantarillado. El inspector me ha permitido examinar el cadáver y sus efectos personales para construir mi propia versión de lo ocurrido.
Here we go again. Number of hours on Cordona before stumbling upon another dead body? 0.
Malpal, soaked with salt water. A simple leather sheath. Perfect for a dirk. £1,000. A fair sum, especially considering British currency isn't very common in Cordona.
Vale,
A
va
man's
descalzo.
footprint. Police boots. Always happy to tramp. A heavy boot with a worn-out sole. Oh, carnelian agate beads, a traditional African adornment. The blood sprayed off the blade after the strike. No hint of blood or impact. It might have been used as an improvised weapon.
Como que lo noqueó, ¿no?
The cut is deep, potentially serious if not treated immediately. He is in shock, feverish and dehydrated.
Sherry, you know first aid. Surely you have a duty to help this man. You can't leave him to certain death.
Hay un refugiado herido en el campamento, parece que está mal. Tiene un corte profundo en el pecho, tiene fiebre y está distreta. El hombre morirá. Tengo que concentrarme en encontrar algo para limpiar la herida, algo para encender y algo que usar como venda.
That will kill, not save him. Someone was dragged against their will. It won't do any good. Just wash. Better than nothing to bandage the wound. I'll use it to create a solution. I'm afraid these leaves can only be added to tea. Coal dust under the nails. I don't see much coal around here. An interesting tattoo. Does it mean something? A steel dirk. Sharp. A common accessory among sailors and soldiers. I'd say the blade penetrated upward, however, the wound is too messy to be certain. Heavy boots, with one sole far more worn than the other. This man was limping John.
Entonces era este.
A violent death. This man, limping. Coal dust. I think we're onto something here, John.
Esto
I
sí,
can
ahora
use
le ve.
this to stop the infection from spreading. I've collated all the ingredients, now to prepare the first aid solution.
Vamos a por el refugiado herido.
Thank you.
This should make you feel better, my friend. Now remain lying down and drink as much water as you can.
Well done, Sherry. At least he won't die from the infection.
If they find out about the passage, everything will go to hell.
¿Qué está ocurriendo en el campamento? Unos agentes de policía están preocupados por si la situación con el cadáver acaba en un confinamiento estricto del campamento y pierden el dinero que ganan con sus ardides.
Nobody will know anything if you keep your bloody mouth shut.
The coppers smell fishy. Sherry, just look at this. Living quarters in a sewer. What kind of a genius bureaucrat came up with this idea?
Unos agentes de policía están preocupados por la situación con el cadáver. Yo sugiero que indaguemos en ello preguntando por el campamento. Pero deberíamos hacerlo antes de marchar del campamento. Podrían volver a confinarlo.
Do you know anything about this?
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
The refugees have been detained and will not leave until all the circumstances are clarified. Back off.
¡Qué tío más saboreo! ¿En serio?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Excuse me, just one question.
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
Yo no sé.
We have seen some dark places in Cordona, but this...
Could you help me?
Why should I care about your troubles when you don't care about mine?
Ok.
You still here?
The guards at the sewers were speaking about taking refugees out of the camp. Do you know anything about this, Inspector?
Less than you do, obviously.
And this doesn't bother you as an officer of the law?
I can neither punish them nor put them on the right track, if that's what you're asking. Maybe your friends at City Hall could do something about it, but I seriously doubt that. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of being frowned on for my uniform. If those fine gentlemen you've eavesdropped on are in some shady business, that's on their heads. I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall lubberheads.
Clearly a left handprint here.
I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall lubberheads.
I hope I'm not making a grave mistake in trusting you, Mr. Holmes.
Ah, no, que yo.
A furrow in the ground. A blood trail leading to or from the canal. A fresh crack, as if the crate was hit recently. Someone bled profusely here. You know what? I'd like to understand.
What?
How did our dead man end up inside the camp in the first place?
Tenemos que ver cómo entró el intruso en el campamento. ¿Qué orden estuvo?
Sealed shut. I doubt our man could get through these grates.
Por la alcantarilla hay una boca de alcantarilla en el terreno del campamento, pero está sellada permanentemente y no se puede abrir sin mucho esfuerzo y ruido. ¿Y si...?
May I ask for your assistance?
Nothing I can tell you, sir, but others might know more.
I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall lubberheads.
It's unlikely anyone could get in or out of the camp by water without alerting the police guards.
Back off.
I'm busy. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall lubberheads.
Por la alcantarilla hay una boca de alcantarilla en el terreno del campamento, pero está sellada permanente y no se puede ver. En bote hay estrecho canal de cruzar el campamento. El intruso puede entrar en el barco, pero no hay ningún barco cerca del campamento y los guardias lo habrán visto.
No, it's too short for these walls or cliffs.
I'm big. Don't you have papers to fill? City Hall lubberheads.
A single Malpal butt. Roadman cigarettes. A brand highly regarded by law enforcement officers. So there wasn't any sophisticated infiltration plan. The good old police just let the man into the camp. Now we have everything we need to get the full picture of what happened at the camp.
You're not even trying, Sherry.
Yo tenía que apoyar en algo.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
Así ahora.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
So, we have a thug who came to take a refugee woman with him. She resisted, but he dragged her by force. One of the refugees stood in his way, armed with a stick, yet he could do nothing against a cutthroat with a blade. The man didn't anticipate that the other refugees would intervene and stand against him. In the confusion, the woman managed to break free. The thug took fright and fled. He was stopped by the falling crates. He stumbled and fell, piercing his chest with his own blade. However, the wound didn't cause instant death. He managed to stand, but still bleeding, he lost his balance on the bridge and fell. Before all of this, the man had freely entered the camp through the main entrance. The police admitted him after they had a short smoke together.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. In our man's case, it's the same sword.
A ver. A ver qué le pasa ahora.
You still here?
Inspector, I believe I can aid your investigation. I know who the dead man is and what really happened here.
You do? Well, good for you. But I'm afraid I'm not the one you need to share your findings with. Speak to Mr. Harlow here. He's the one responsible for settling things in the camp.
You don't even care to listen?
Oh, I do care. Maybe even more than I need to. But I'm only here today to lock the place up, question witnesses, and file the facts. It's sad, but coming up with conclusions is not among my tasks here. You fellows at City Hall do that. Anyway, speak to the supervisor. I'll just stand by and listen to what you have to say.
Mr. Harlow, your refugees didn't murder anyone.
What? Pray tell me what you've learned.
All right, listen carefully. This might solve one problem for you, but will create a few more.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
The man came to the camp intending to kidnap one of your refugees, a woman. What he didn't expect was that the refugees would stand up to protect the woman. A brawl had broken out. In the chaos of it, the man stumbled over those crates and fell on his own blade.
How do you know he fell on his own blade?
The wound in his chest was inflicted from an unusual angle. It was not an offensive stab, shall we say. The refugees didn't touch him. And judging by the blood at the scene, the intruder managed to raise himself but was unable to walk very far. He ultimately fell into the canal.
But how did he sneak into the camp? Why didn't the police see him?
And this is where your new problems emerge, Mr. Harlow.
What do you mean?
You're not a dull-witted man. You know what I mean. There is no feasible way to get into the camp without the police guards knowing of it.
The pile of mess I had to sort out has just become bigger, but somehow that doesn't surprise me. Anyway, I thank you for your help, Mr. Holmes. I'll take it from here. Meanwhile, I'll make sure the police aren't detaining the refugees any longer. You can go back in and look for your witness.
You think one small clerk can make any difference? In this place?
Who knows, John? Just one ill-fitting cog could make the whole machine crumble.
You're the one who tended to our man's wounds. I thank you greatly. The police didn't allow us to help him.
The police will leave you alone now. I've proven to them that the man who came into the camp died due to his own foolishness.
Thank you for standing up for us. But nobody would help us without a reason. You're here because you want something.
Yes, I do. I need to speak with the girl drawn here.
The dead man came for her too. He wanted to take the girl away, but we won't allow her to be hurt again. What do you want from Nayla?
Nayla. She was hurt some time ago. I'm here to find the people who did this and bring them to justice. And to find them, I need Nayla's help. Will you let me speak to her?
Justice. There's no justice on this land. But you helped us, so maybe your words are not empty. You can speak to Nayla, if she wants it. But I will be watching you.
Hello, Nayla? My name is Sherlock. I know someone hurt you. I am here to help. I'm trying to find the people involved and bring them to justice. Please. There is a photograph, and I'm sorry, it is terrible, but I simply must ask. Where did this happen? What can you tell me about these people? Christ, Sherlock. Nayla, I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this.
You come here for me, but you are rude and cruel and condescending. A cross. The man had this cross. Now go away. Leave us be. I do not need another white man's help.
Pues vale.
Oh, glad that wasn't me.
Not my best work, John, by a long shot. Nayla doesn't want us meddling. I'm starting to wonder what this all achieves.
But she helped you anyway. Now we know that maniac's face and the cross he wore, we can still catch him.
El violador es un oficial de alto rango. Las medidas como esas suelen concederse a oficiales de alto rango. El violador de la fotografía podría ser. El matón fue al campamento para secuestrar a una mujer. Tuvo la oportunidad de matarla, pero no era ese su objetivo. El matón también estuvo en la galería. El muerto del campamento de refugiados era la misma persona que entró en la galería de Vogel. Esbirro, no es solo ladrón. No es solo ladrón, sino también es secuestrador. Un esbirro que juega el papel que le toque.
You still here? Don't bother someone else with this, son.
The intruder has a most peculiar tattoo on his neck, 2 lines and a point. Do you know anything about it?
You really want to know, kid? Why? You want to play a policeman or something?
I'm sure you have it in your records, so it won't hurt if I have it in mine.
In my records, it's just a tattoo, as it should be in yours. Ah, to hell with you. Suit yourself as to what you're going to do with it. Off the record, though, such tattoos are often connected to a man named Mr. Niccolo Bernadotti.
Bernadotti, you say?
A respectable businessman in Scaladio. His company imports goods and wines, and smuggles everything that can be smuggled between the colonies and the mainland. His people can be identified by an obscure tattoo, just like the one over there our friend has. But these are all merely rumors, you see. If Mr. Bernadotti was a criminal, he'd be in prison now. Or hanged, right?
El hombre hallado muerto en el campamento de refugiados tiene un tatuaje distintivo en el cuello, 2 líneas horizontales una sobre la otra con un punto encima. El hombre no llegó por casualidad, es una pieza muy importante del caso y su tatuaje podría ayudarme a resolverlo. El inspector de Busley del campamento de refugiados dice que los hombres relacionados con un tal Nicole Bernadotti ya han tatuado como ese. Bernadotti es un empresario local de Scaladio que se rumorea que dirige una red de contrabando cuya tarea es la importación de mercancías y vinos. y vinos entre las colonias y el continente.
Sherry, wait. You might want to settle all the matters in the camp before leaving. You probably won't be coming back here anytime soon. It's a shame we didn't learn more about that scheme the guards were talking about. The corruption in Cordona flourishes once more.
We simply don't have time for this, John. We need to proceed with the case.